Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick off this show. Spawning in the bottom left side of Alcyone, we have none other than Cheeeeese as our orange Zerg. Playing up against Team GDA's green Terran, it is none other than IbRA. Okay, and by the looks of it, IbRA is starting with a gas first. So, gonna mine a bit more gas. That means factory is going to be a tad bit earlier of a single gas. Let's see if this is gonna be any kind of like double gas shenanigan or any other thing. I'm quite curious because normally you would see the racks into gas and then a Reaper fast expand marine factory reactor. That would be your standard play over here. But by the looks of it, IbRA is going to go for that Reaper for sure. But is going to have the factory just a tad bit faster. On the side of Cheeeeese, by the looks of it, it is going to be the standard hatch gas pool. 16 hatchery, 18 gas, 17 pool. This should be around 4,500 if I'm not mistaken, gamer. This should be around 4,500, but I am not exactly sure what the MMR of IbRA is. If I don't forget, or if you remember to remind me, I'll check it between the two games. I should actually, and I'll try to correct my mistake on that one. I'll try to check the MMRs of players beforehand. If I want to actually go for an excuse, then I'd say Winter messaged me like, hey, I just found out that I have to leave a bit earlier, so we should start a tad bit earlier if we can. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. And I just kind of like managed to get the production well, basically in place. All right, so but no excuses. I should know the MMRs of these players who I'm casting, so that's a common question. I should know them. But back to the game. So we're gonna have that factory and we're gonna have the reactor as well. Still on a single gas, so nothing too fancy. Reaper is gonna try to do some kind of damage. Takes some damage onto that link. Queen is gonna drop the tumor. IbRA may try to go for a snipe, but will probably not be able to do so. Okay, so far so good for Cheeeeese. So far it's a decent hold on that Reaper harass, so nothing too fancy there. IbRA is gonna try to go into the main base and scout for any kind of early shenanigans, but we'll see nothing. Can even check on the gas and see how much gas has been mined. 2250 is the base amount of gas that can be mined from a geyser once it gets slotted with a refinery or extractor in this matchup. So you can basically see how much gas has been mined and see how much gas the Zerg should have by the time you actually click on it. Alright, Hellions on the way, and we have the starport and third command center, so everything seems to be super fine, but this Rax is super behind, so I have an idea that this could go into mech. I might be wrong, but this kind of tells me that this will be mech. We'll see. I suspect some either Banshee play. Oh, and there's a fusion core. Okay, so Banshee, all right, interesting, and probably we're going to go into a battle cruiser. Usually you see a Viking with that because they try to deny any kind of overlord, so that should be the case, but by the looks of it, this is not going to happen. And we have the supply wall coming in. Obviously the third command center is already done, and it is going to be quite a significant pillar when it comes to the economy. Haven't seen a BC opener in ages? Well, honestly, you should ask me for replays, because I run into BC openers like probably 50% of the time when I play against Terran. I'd say of 100 games versus Terran, okay, maybe not 50, but at least 25 to 30 games is BC openers. Another 20 to 30 probably are like proxy plays, and the rest is like standard or nonsense. Okay, so Banshee is going to check for this Overlord. Obviously, this Overlord could check for the gases. 4 gases would give it away that it's going to be mech. But by the looks of it, for now, it is only a single battlecruiser. Probably it's going to be another set of battlecruisers. And do we have an armory? Armory has not even started yet, so I suppose we are not going to see an armory. And Cheese doesn't read this correctly from what I see. 4 gases and 4th base on the way. A bit late, I'd say. Probably around that 5:30. It's quite sad because I used to really smash that open over and I remembered to scout. Yeah, that's true. If you scout, then you're probably going to be fine. But anyways, battlecruiser is moving across the map. Second battlecruiser on the way. Yamato close to finishing. And we have Roach Ravager, so nothing that shoots up for now. And the battlecruiser will now be shown. Overlord is gonna go down. Probably this Queen too. This Queen is not actually protected, so it's gonna be quite a bummer. I'm just gonna try to bio it down, but I don't think this is going to work. Okay, manages to actually catch a couple of bios. That is not bad. But the mech army is also here. The battle mech army, to be more exact. This hatchery has been finished, and yep, there's the Spire. So we're going to have the standard response on the battlecruiser. Oh, nice sniping the manager. Good job, IbRA. Manages to snipe a Ravager, which is going to be 100 gas lost over there. Is Queensport enough to hold BC? Yeah, that's true. But you never know how many BCs are going to be. And it's going to be... most likely it's going to be more BCs because we're transitioning into mech. IbRA is floating a lot of minerals. Probably going to go into... yeah, there we go. Should saturate his gases, obviously. Now we're going to have this Rich Vesping Geyser be saturated on the Zerg side as well. That is going to help out quite a lot with Corruptors. So Corruptors should start right now. Okay, the sound queue should be through. And there is 500 gas. And there is supply, there's everything, there's even larva. But Cheese is trying to actually push through here. He's going to try and do something about the base of IbRA. Oh, but there's 3 tanks. If those tanks siege up, and there's 2 battlecruisers here. 3 battlecruisers actually. The third one just spawned the other moment. And this is gonna get cleaned up. 8 Corruptors on the way. And +1 melee with +1 missile. +2 missile, sorry. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. But at the end of the day, 18 SCVs fall, and that is going to be a huge advantage for Cheese. Cheese has not lost more than 4 workers this game, so it's quite nice. Now look at that. The Terrazine. Anyways. Units getting repaired, and let's see what the actual transition is. So we're going full on attack, plus on air vehicle weapons, and plus on ground vehicle weapons, or ship weapons and vehicle weapons. I think that's what they are called. Let's get 3 Corruptors per BC. Probably a bit more, maybe 4 to 5, especially if they have Yamato. Obviously depends on how many BCs there are, because you kind of want to have more. It kind of grows exponentially, if I'm not mistaken, because remember, BCs shoot very fast and they are quite tanky. So they have 550 HP. They are also armored, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, jumps away. I don't know if you had to jump away with all 3. Could have just cleaned up a couple of Corruptors, but looks like there's going to be need for those BCs, as Cheese is going to push through with some Roach Ravager. And Hellion Cyclone is not going to be bad against this, especially the Cyclones. There's plenty of Cyclones. There's even a Banshee. Thor's in production, and this mech army is looking to be quite disgusting, so to say. In my opinion, you would need Adrenolinks, maybe Maybe some Vipers, maybe some Infestors, even Neural. You know, all these things would help quite a lot. Probably that's true. Like that's probably the bare minimum. That's probably the bare minimum. 3 Corruptors with versus Yamato BCs. That's how I would feel about it, because, you know, getting, I don't know, 15 Corruptors for 5 BCs just feels a bit low on the Corruptors account. So maybe I'm wrong, but then again, I'm not that great with, like, I'm not really microing my Corruptors. So okay, just moving forward. Where are the battle cruisers? That's the question. There's no battle cruisers, so these Corruptors are not really quite useful here, as they're going to take some damage from those stores. Okay, 3 battle cruisers are going to move into this right side base, which is just now finishing up a spore crawler quite late. It's going to be placed down. Oh, but by the looks of it, 1 BC is going to go down. That's nice. Queen's also coming in to help out. 1 more Corruptor will fall. Oh my god, that's actually... Wait, is that all the BCs? That's 2 BCs down. And by the looks of it, in the middle, we have a bit of a fiesta here. We'll check the battle report, just making sure that there is a battle report. Okay, 1 more tank gets piled down. And these Corruptors actually tanking quite a lot. Do we have more? We have a single battle cruiser, which got repaired just now, I suppose. Plenty of queens here. 8 queens. So you can kind of go a bit low on the Corruptor count, I suppose. Oh no, 5 more Corruptors. Oh wait, never mind. There is going to be Broodlords coming in. I wouldn't mind a second Spire as well. Hellions are going to run in. There's plenty of gas on the side of Cheese, and should be quite enough. Hellion Speed, aka Hurricane Thrusters, is on the way, as well as Smart Servos and Inferno Pre-Igniter. Quite interesting to not see Blue Flame research up until this moment. We're 30 minutes in the game, and this is quite a bummer, because these Hellions, if they were Blue Flame Hellions, they would have been much stronger. There we go, just what I said. Adrenal Links are on the way with +2 melee. Obviously Carapace is not really worth it against mech, because they will hit slowly, but they will hit like a train. So it's not exactly worth it to get Carapace, because it's not going to... You probably will take a shot or two. It's not like Marines, for example, where they do like what I'm not sure about the exact number, but let's just say 5 damage, and we have +3 Carapace, and they're going to do like 3 damage less, right? It's not that way. So mech is packing slow but really powerful punches. I would try to get like a combat sports example here, but I only watch wrestling, so, and we know what the thing is with wrestling. It's a bit on the sports entertainment side rather than actual combat sports. So anyways, what we have here is basically a quite of a stalemate, and what Cheese needs to try and do is take 1 more base, which he's doing right now. Ooh, a lot of those Broodlords actually go down, and honestly, yeah, I'm quite surprised here that he's taking this fight after those Broodlords fall. Okay, this is looking quite tough for Cheese. He's going for a Nidus network. Let's see where he can actually place a Nidus Swarm. Nidus Swarm could be placed like literally on this creep over here, and just, you know, like place 1 more over here or wherever the Nidus is. Probably it's in the main, right? I'd say it's in the main. Yeah, it's in the main. Well, usually I would place the Nidus somewhere over here, and then like place another one over here, and you can just transport stuff quite safely. Also do a couple of run-bys and even get back in time if you hide the Nidus network itself quite nicely. Oh, +3 is not done for the lanes, but they're going to go in. They have Adrenal, so this could be quite nice. Vikings are going to be dealt with. Well, at least that 1 single Viking. This 1 Broodlord is going to try and just help out with the damage slowly but surely. And by the looks of it, our green turn has to slowly but surely fall back. Yes, 3k minerals in the bank, but only 300 gas, so it's going to have to suffice with Hellions mostly, I'd say. Okay, BC is going to deal with this Broodlord, but Blue Flame Hellbats are going to be quite useful. A couple of Lings are going to try and deal some damage to the planetaries there, but obviously planetaries with repair are, if you cannot surround it in time during the chaos, then they're going to be quite effective against Lings. Okay. Oh, I was looking like, where's the units? Alright. Oh, the Thor's actually doing quite nice damage here. Look at the shift click onto those Broodlords with the battlecruiser. Obviously the BC cannot be denied, and also Cheese just going for the shift clicks on these Thors. It's actually doing quite a lot of damage here. We have 30 more Corruptors on the way, 10 more workers fall on the side of IbRA. 69, nice. Already like changed, but it was 69. By the looks of it, that is gonna be enough. Cheese will take game number 1. Ooh, that was actually a solid one, I have to say. Okay, let's update the score, obviously. There we go. So Cheese up 1-0. We are already ready to jump into our second one. I kind of want to see more spellcasters. Well, technically I want to see spellcasters in general. We haven't seen ghosts, we haven't seen ravens, we haven't seen actually that's pretty much it right on the Terran side, and we haven't seen infestors, we haven't seen vipers. So I kind of want to make up on that one if I am either player. And let's see how we are going to deal with the next game, as Crimson Court is quite a tricky map until you open it. But in the top right side, we have none other than Cheese, the victor from last game. And give your energy, send it over to this green Terran from Team GDA, as IbRA is gonna try to pull it back to game number 3. It's going to be quite an, if this is at least as packed as the last game, then I believe we're going to have a wonderful second game as well. Maybe it's going to be a third one if IbRA manages to find the right calls. But until that, my apologies, I forgot to check, and I have to check actually. So we're going to look at IbRA. If I find IbRA, yep, IbRA is 4k, and Cheese should be around 4.2. Yeah, okay, there we go. We actually managed to find them. Sorry for the alt tab and bit of an FPS drop. So it's around a 4k matchup. Scout comes in, sees the hatchery at just the right timing. Reaper on the way. The Reaper is a bit late, I'd say. Was it again a gas first? Because I feel like by the time the SCV arrives here, the Reaper should high five with it kind of right now, pretty much. Let's see when this Reaper gets across the map. So around 2:35 would be optimal, I'd say. Well, it's gonna get through at until 2:25, but maybe this map is a bit shorter. Well, not like this. Alright, Lings are going to move in for some damage. IbRA snipes one of these Lings. Could potentially be a second one if he manages to click on it, but he's about to lose the Reaper. Okay, it's gonna be quite successful in just literally just shift clicking that Ling and then moving towards that third base. Now I'm curious where the third base is going to be for Cheese. Ooh, this... Okay, the Reaper will most likely fall. What? Wait a second. What's happening? Oh no. Oh no. And the Reaper will go down. Oh, it's gonna intercept this drone most likely. Oh, IbRA? IbRA? Okay, IbRA will let Cheese take its third. It's kind of a bummer. Right, once again we have the starport. Oh, wait a second. What is this? What do we have here? We have a bunker. I'm curious what IbRA saw that made him think that is going to be some kind of cheese. Well, obviously the cheese is going to be because of the name, but other than that. Also, Lauren, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. So we have the bunker. We have more Marines coming in. Maybe the delay on that third. I mean, first of all, you kind of need to deal with the Reaper, right? That's probably the first thing. First things first, deal with the Reaper, then you can safely expand. Other than that, otherwise, it's going to be quite difficult. At least in my opinion. 3 gases coming in for Cheese, so I expect some kind of Muta play. I would expect some kind of Muta play, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna have. Oh, once again, we're going to have a battlecruiser opener. Nice to see it. Let's see if this time is gonna be even more successful. Oh, the Evo Chamber trick is not bad, but you should do it while you block it out, not like you block your drones out, basically. Anyways. We're going to have a couple of roaches, and yeah, maybe Cheese is just kind of used to playing like this. 4 base on the Rich Vespine Geyser base, which will allow. Once again, this screams Muta if I'm Cheese. 3 base Muta, like proper 3 base Muta, but like yeah, not this amount of workers, of course. I would saturate like my 3rd mineral line as well, and that's pretty much it. Like 60 drone Muta play. But I don't see road speed. I don't see second upgrade with that second Evo. I don't see Aspire. So Cheese kind of got the lair for no reason other than Overseer. But there's no Overseer scout, so for now the lair is quite useless. I'm still waiting on what will we get from this. 3rd base is starting to mine for IbRA, and we have a 4th command center, not yet. Oh, but we do have 2 extra factories, so once again we're going to go for mech. We have that single eBay. Once again, the battlecruiser is going to move across the map, so that will allow the battlecruiser to get out quite safely when the HP is too low. And most likely Cheese will have to drop that Spire at some point, but I think he just forgot road speed. Last time he got road speed, so... And this is not in range. Nothing actually scouts. I believe nothing scouted that battlecruiser. Am I crazy? I might be crazy, but I think nothing scouted the BC. Oh, Hydrogen and Infestation Pit? Okay, so we're transitioning into Lurkers, most likely. Probably you can get away with not dropping a Spire. I'm curious. It's a question mark for me as well. We have double armory and there's a Spire, so Cheese goes for safety first. And by the looks of it, honestly, I wouldn't cancel the Hydrogen. I'd go for the Hydrogen and potentially just get Lurkers a tad bit later. So IbRA is going to try and get a couple of workers while he's going to go out safe and just... Oh wait, so right now there's no Yamato. That's quite interesting. Second battlecruiser is actually in action already, so this is nice multitasking on the side of IbRA. So it's gonna go out quite nicely, quite safe stuff here. Wait, there was another drone falling. I'm not sure where and why, but I guess it happens to the best. So 13 drones for the troubles of IbRA. Despite all that, we have no SCV advantage for, like, worker count advantage for IbRA. Bit of a supply block on both sides. Well, Cheese is not supply blocked yet, but 3 overlords on the way. So most likely he's not even going to get supply blocked. Alright. And Cheese is actually expanding quite nicely. I like how he plays here. As we have the 3 battlecruisers potentially moving across the map, and now Tank Hellbat is going to move out as well. There's like 2 Marines here. A couple of Hellions. I think you can morph those into Hellbats. One tank is going to get biled down. We need these battlecruisers to actually attack. And the problem is there's no 1-1 over here, so it's going to be quite difficult to push through if those Corruptors are getting out. Oh, but the Queen is going to go down. There was no transfuse, no sports here. Needs to somehow save those workers. Gonna go for both bases after Cheese mined out these murals. Nicely done there. Overlord will fall. Needs to be careful. If he gets supply blocked, then it's going to be quite GG, as this is a very snowbally death ball. Well, if IbRA would move this a bit faster and would just basically do anything with this, like even as much as just, you know, scanning, you could just do a scan, kill the creep. There we go. So you kill the creep and you try to like siege it up. You try not to care too much about it. Your most valuable stuff is the BCs. Okay, taking down the gas is not actually that bad, because now you actually deny a lot of gas mining for your opponent. Road Travager Link is not bad against what IbRA has. If the links can go from behind, and that is exactly what Cheese is going to do. This is quite smart, and the tanks are on siege. He's gonna go for all of them. Oh, but there's so many tanks in front. There's 13 tanks. 2 more fall in the back line, but let's see if this is going to be enough. Do we have anything over here? Well, tanks are not shooting up, Corruptors are not shooting down. What now? By the looks of it, we have 13 Corruptors, and we have Yamato with the 3 battlecruisers that we have. Where's the 3 battlecruisers? That's a question. They're home. Probably gonna wait for the tactical jump. I mean, could be the case and could just jump in, but no, actually not, because that would be literal suicide on the side of Cheese. Now IbRA is making the best call here, just transitioning into Thors. Do we have no extra upgrades coming up for IbRA, so he should try to actually go for something extra. But on the other side, we have only 2-2 for Cheese, which is obviously an advantage, but yeah, it's not going to be extremely significant. And by the looks of it, we have an Ultra then? And Great Aspire. So, Broodlord Ultra? Yeah, this is quite confusing, and we're still making Roaches and Lings. Which I'm not, don't get me wrong, I am not against it, but we don't have Adrenal either, so probably Adrenal would be better than Chitinous. 1 BC falls. That's great. That's 33% of this. I mean, 1 BC. I saw opponent like 30 Corruptors. Yeah, that's a classic one. They're 4K, Lauren. Technically 3950 and 4200, so the Terran is the lower MMR player, but by the looks of it, looks to take us to a game number 3 for now, as this is a really nice siege setup here, because it will actually just put themselves into 3 bases. Well, 3 bases, whatever is remaining from here. Okay. Oh, that's two overlords that are actually exposed here. Oh, but there's so many doors. Like, honestly, at this point, if I was Cheese, I would just bow out and be like, yeah, sure, it happens. It is what it is. And that's what he's going to do. All right. So, that was a grueling loss for Cheese, that's for sure. And IbRA played it very nicely. Despite not having that many upgrades and sometimes being a bit sloppy with the army, that was a super nice stuff. So I'm quite happy about it. Gamer, I honestly don't know what game you played, because I saw too many BC openers, even both with Protoss, and that's in TVP, and I saw a lot of BC openers at like 3.3, 3.4. Also 2.8 to 3.3 is it's quite a large margin. Like 500 MMR is basically, you know, that's literally like from platinum to diamond. Sort of. Everyone just 2-1-1s you. Happens to the best, I guess. So these gamers are tied 1 game apiece, and they are going to battle it out on Oceanborn. Spawning in the bottom right side, we have Cheese, our orange Zerg. And taking game, the last game, it is our green Terran from Team GDA. It is IbRA. Also, shout out to both of them. They are, I would say, well, IbRA sometimes shows up. I know he's a regular viewer of Ferrati, and Cheese shows up quite often when I cast stuff, so shout out to the Mauzy fam. Y'all are the real MVPs. And probably I don't actually say it enough of the times, but shout out to Ancient Regimes Winter, Hungarian Winter, Hungarian Protoss Winter, for organizing this whole thing. And also recruiting streamers, allowing me to do these English streams. I'm actually quite hyped, because as much as I had my fair share of like bad moments with the Hungarian community, at the end of the day, I'm part of the Hungarian community. And I'm actually proud of a lot of the players, the way they are playing, the way they actually cemented their legacy in this community. I might not like them on a personal level, like all of them, but as players, I'm giving credit where it's due, right? So we have to take a look at the spots where we can get credit. Did we play in a tourney some weeks ago? You mean us or you and Gamer? I was casting Amateur League weekly, like a couple weeks ago. And I think you played against Tonsi. I'm quite sure about that. Okay, so Cheese is gonna pull out of gas quite early on. I'm gonna go for a later speed. Oh, Gamer House. Honestly, I don't think so. Gamer is not really playing in tournaments, or maybe I just don't know, and he's like an undercover agent who pretends not to play Starcraft, but he has like grinding stuff. Oh, it's literally that, Gamer House. Reaper gets cleaned up. Oh, that's actually quite painful for IbRA. But once again, we're going to have a tech lab coming up here, and we're gonna have the starport in just a couple 150 mils. There we go. Okay. Yeah, 3 more queens on the way. How many queens do we have? Okay, so we're gonna go up to 5. which is going to be quite nice. I would actually suggest every single player to go up to like 10 versus Terran. A lot of the times it is going to pay off. Forgives you more for not making lings in time for Hellions. So yeah, a lot of the times it's going to be quite important. Alright, Overlord denying a Marine will patrol. Cheese is going to try to go in. We have the Fusion Core once again, the third time. A Battlecruiser opener coming in hot. Let's see if the Spidey senses will tingle. Oh, by the way, Gamer Health is an absolute giga chat of an observer, so I can only recommend his observing skills. Sadly, replays cannot be observed by someone else unless they stream it on Discord, and I just cast it off of that, so that's not quite efficient. Ooh, Cheese is gonna see it. Nicely done here, even before it goes down. So nice scout. Oh, and he's actually gonna go in and potentially pick up a couple of Hellions. Oh, never mind. Those lings were lined up to get roasted. The Ling barbecue. Special discount at Joy Ray's bar, by the way. Obviously, if you're a Terran. If you're a Protoss, then probably you're exiled forever. And Zergs, well, Zergs don't really socialize as far as I know. Except between themselves, so... Anyways, so third command center is gonna fly out finally, and this time we have early Yamato, and this is quite interesting. Okay, so look at the SimCity, how IbRA actually puts everything. So I don't have too much against that, but I would put these factories a bit closer, like here, because sometimes a couple seconds, for example, for doors, they get down ramps quite difficultly, and you know, even like Hellions, Hellbats, Cyclones, whatever you have there, will actually spawn a bit further back, and it's going to take a couple more seconds, and maybe it's going to be the deal breaker. No, it's sort of a nitpick, to be honest, but you know, sometimes you can only just try and add a couple of tips to one's repertoire. Alright, once again we have the BC arriving across the map, and this time around the creep is actually like massively spread on the right side. This is quite nice. So the center of the map is halfway occupied by creep. It's gonna be quite nice, as these roaches and these lings are gonna move across the map, and once again the lings could go in. There's a couple of Hellions, and that's a bunch of Hellions, but now the roaches are going to close in, and they're going to have speed in just now. Oh, just about now, yeah. Nicely set here. Alright, and he's actually hellbent on trying to push this in. I'm not exactly sure. He's bleeding out units slowly but surely. Obviously, he's buying time for the Spire to finish up, and potentially a couple of Corruptors. How many queens? We have 8 queens. That should be enough, and he's going for more roaches. Do we have more larvae? 2 larvae remaining, 3 larvae. We're going to take a look at the larva count, as that is going to be quite important, but 11 drones are actually falling. 22 SCVs, 23 hit the deck, so that could mean potential at least game delaying, if not game ending damage. 31 SCVs fall, 31 remaining, so half of the economy has been massacred as these Hellions are trying to run for their lives. Just trying to do something here, but looks like the SCV massacre is just not done yet. 35 and counting. IbRA is trying to reproduce 3 at a time, and Cheese has a bunch of minerals, has a bit of gas. Could go for a couple of Corruptors. He has only a single Corruptor, so not gonna be that effective for now. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. A bit of a supply block, but he's actually not producing anything. I'm not sure what's happening here. Single Corruptor Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. 45 SCVs have fallen. Potentially this is indeed game-ending damage. There is no way to actually shoot down this command center, but unless IbRA decides to float it away and repair it, this is gonna look quite daunting here. He's gonna try to do that. A couple SCVs come in, but those SCVs could fall. Now the tank will fall for sure, but there's plenty more behind this. And is this going to be enough? A bit of a friendly fire here from the tanks from in the back line. These roaches and this Ravager is actually arriving quite late. Battlecruiser run by, looking to do some damage. 49 workers on the side of Cheese. New base is actually on the way, but where? Oh, there's actually a macro hatchery. That one I kind of like, because you have a lot of money in the bank and you want to kind of spend it. Okay, once again, we have a bio here. He's gonna move close, and oh, the repair on the tank. Oh, this could be quite nice. Biles his own Ravager, but is going to actually take down that tank. Is going to teleport away with those battle cruisers, and now the Lings will get cleaned up, but 8 more SCVs have fallen. 26 remaining, 25, and even more. Even Mules getting targeted down slowly but surely. 10 SCVs fall. And Cheese is not letting up the pressure, but is this going to be enough to break through? A mech player is quite difficult to break, especially if you have units that are not shooting up against units that are quite beefy, even against those that shoot up, so it's gonna be quite difficult. Yeah, we're extending with the offense just a tad bit. Well, it's quite, I'm gonna be honest, it's quite difficult to decide when enough is enough. Right, so you're gonna try to like sack a couple of units once, basically until you have the better economy. You can kind of try and sack a couple of units and just deny your opponents, because you know their economy is going to look like crap. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the correct play is here, but I think Cheese is doing somewhat the correct call here. He's going to try and take those BCs down, but he's not going to be successful at it. Now, ooh, maybe that BC could still go down. Oh, and by the looks of it, it is going to go down. 1 battlecruiser falls, and there's 1 battlecruiser, 3 tanks, and 2 Hellions with 35 SCVs. And Cheese is still playing roaches here, still going for those roaches, and I'm not exactly sure if that's the correct call. I think a couple of drones could go a long way. Well, a single drone will not change the fate of this game, of course, but just go up to like 60, 65, 66, something along those lines, you know, even 70. Just make a full round of drones like these. 12 larva could, yeah, there we go, just goes into droning once again. He has a lot of oversupply, and he has this highway of creep. Now IbRA cannot really allow himself to scan here, because it is going to be quite difficult to get back on the economy, but he is trying. He has 4 command centers, so let's see if he can actually manage to do something about it. Where's that? Wait a second, do we have 4 command centers? We have 4, or oh, there's the 4 orbital, okay, at the edge of the main base. Okay, where's the teleports? We're waiting on those teleport, on that teleport BC. Okay, never mind. It's just basically going back with that battlecruiser. I thought he's going into one of Cheese's bases just to try and do some kind of damage while these corruptors are in the front. Well, there's still 6 queens at home for Cheese. Camping like defense mission. Hello, Order. I'm curious of your TVT. Wait, not TVT, your TVP. Okay, he's gonna move in. And there's quite a lot of Ravagers, but he's not using the bios. Oh, this is quite a mistake. He's gonna try to go for the battlecruiser, but that's not gonna be enough. A couple of Vikings are still going to go a long way against these corruptors. And he's moving forward, and once again he's cleaning up the things, but basically the worker count difference is the same as it was before. It's a bloodbath just like this one. Yes, let's go. I'm actually happy to hear that. You know, I like these type of small spoilers. They don't spoil the actual game, but they bring the hype, so it's quite nice. Yeah, Viper, any kind of, you know, any piece of utility in the form of spellcasters would go a long way. Oh, let's get a bile down a couple of tanks. Oh, these blue flame hellbats are going to do a lot of damage to these lings. Oh, and the lings are actually going to deal a bit of damage there to those hellbats, but other than just tickling them, it's not going to do too much. And by the looks of it, IbRA is stabilizing. Cheese is not opting to go for more hatcheries. Has 6 hatcheries though, so we're not going to take that away from him. But the problem is, he should have droned by this time. Like, oh no, what's happening here? Oh, a couple of... Okay, this happens quite a lot, to me at least. So this basically is like probably got onto the same control group or something. Alright, finally saturates that base as well. How resources lost? This is how resources lost looks like. I didn't even finish the question, I just reacted instantly. So this is what the resources lost looks like. We have 19k on the side of the Zerg and close to 15k for the Terran, so it's quite nice. We can see that the Zerg actually bled out more high-tech units. 69 roaches, nice. Could have been 69 SCVs, but it's 70, not as nice. The fist rally, yes, indeed. Okay, so the Terran army looks better and better now that there's Vikings here. These Vikings are going to be quite nice against those Corruptors, because after the Corruptors are dead, they can land, right? Corruptors can't. They need to morph. And they will morph, but once again, I want to see a couple of Vipers, Infestors, anything. A bit of Neural, a bit of Blinding Cloud, Parasitic Bomb, anything. Literally anything. That's what I want to see here. Tank spread is really hot. Yeah. Yeah, I love how he spread his tanks. There's no way you can bile down 2 tanks at once. Unless you like spread your biles as well, which is not that easy. Oh, Hellion run by is going to do a lot of damage actually. 19 workers fall. For a moment I thought that there's some there. And Cheese is doing the right call here. He's going to just try and spread his domain as much as possible. Should try to spread the creep as well. Obviously it's not that easy as we just said. Needs a lot of APM and a lot of multitasking, but it's definitely possible, so should do it most likely. Okay, he's gonna move forward. Lots of Corruptors. Will deal with those Vikings first. Another tank gets biled down, but this is the problem. Like, everything on the ground is going to look really, really tough, and now the Taurs are being revealed. And IbRA's upgrades are looking a bit nicer, to be completely fair with you. Because now we have vehicle plating as well, which is not bad, especially versus Lings, right? I mean, these are only +1 Lings, and we're gonna have +3 as well. Obviously, Lurkers are not going to be that great against Tank Tor, so that's kind of off the table. Ultras could be nice. Broodlords are somewhat okay if they have something to tank. Oh, these Corruptors are moving forward, and these could go down. These Corruptors are so valuable. They should morph into Broodlords, but that's not going to be the case. Queens are moving forward as well, but there's so many Taurs and tanks left here. There's 4 more Taurs, 7 more tanks, and there's just barely enough Zerg here to even consider surviving. Oh no, 3 Taurs will spawn very shortly. Oh my lord, there's like always 2 Taurs close to finishing, so it's quite wild. We have 86 workers, 85 right now. And by the looks of it, we're gonna have more gas, like Cheese realizes that he needs gas for sure. Question is, will he find the Viper button, honestly? That's my question. The Viper button needs to be found. Other than that, I don't really mind. Whatever he plans to get, then, you know, it's his choice. But the Viper is going to be a do or die type of unit, as Lings are not gonna cut it. As actually, does I believe Hellbats count as range damage, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, but this is a huge roast. Oh, wait a second. These stores are going to go down, and finally it looks like IbRA just not paying quite a lot of attention to these stores. Too far forward. Oh, that's a nice mine shot here. And this is all of a sudden looking quite nice, but he needs more lings. He needs more lings. Now, more than ever, he needs more lings. He needs more lings to deal with the doors. Oh, he's going to try and deal with these doors with the broodlords, but doors have this sort of infinite range. They can shoot from like your main base to the next map. Let's just say like this is the first map in the map pool, and Ghost River is last one. And Ghost River, the opponent's main, that's the distance where they can shoot. That's the range on the doors. And by the looks of it, this is going to be a massacre on the broodlords, as these stores are not really dying. Oh, the repair on those stores. Oh, this is so great. Link printers have been engaged, yes. But they need to actually go and tank for those broodlords. If the Lings don't actually tank for the broodlords, then the broodlords will get gunned down off the sky quite fast. As I said, from your main base in the first map of the map pool all the way to the last map pool's opponent main base, that's the range on the doors. Remember that. Oh, this mine is also doing quite a lot of damage. This is literally the auto pathing where the Lings will try to move into IbRA's third base. Most likely the Lings would, if they spawn here, they would move like this. Maybe if he tries to go for this base, then they will move over here. So IbRA would need to have that mine in the center, literally. But by the looks of it, he is pushing forward. 162 supply to 157, but there is no neural, no burrow right now. Chitinous is just now on the way. There's no anabolic synthesis, I don't know, whatever. Ultra's coming in and trying to engage, but these are not that great. Plus 0 Carapace Ultras with +2 only. It's not going to be great, and GG is the call. IbRA, after a bloodbath of 22 minutes, manages to close out this series 2-1.